even if you're investing in a relationship, and it could be a friendship, it could be a family relationship, it could be an intimate partnership, it could just be, oh, I've been friends with so and so for so long, we're just going to be friends. And you don't exactly recognize or realize how much time and energy you are putting into the friendship and maintaining it, or the relationship. Or
Welcome to Permission the Podcast. I'm Dr. T, and this is my sister
Silvana, and we are two regular people talking about spirituality in our daily lives.
Each week, we're inviting you to the internal conversation. So let's get started.
With your permission.
welcome back to Permission the Podcast.
Hi.
What we have for you this week is the investment. So we came up with this episode talking about relationships and what we're investing in relationships. And that's kind of how it started, right? What does it actually mean to invest in a relationship? And we're going to kick it off with that question. Why don't you start?
If you think about my energy is my currency, and everything I put my energy into, I'm investing, right? I'm investing my currency. And yeah, I did that for a long, long time in my marriage. And at one point I was like, well, I have already invested so much into it.
Did it feel like you couldn't walk away? Like, okay, I put so much investment in this.
Well, it was also the kids, right? Because this is part of my investment, right? You call them the dividends. I don't know. There was so much vested in it, and also the whole belief that you only do this once, this is forever. You made a promise to not just a human person, but to God. And, there's all these beliefs. And so.
Did you believe that?
At the beginning? Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, that's what we grew up listening to. That's been put into our brains. It's, so yeah, I thought when I said, and you believed it too. I mean, you thought this was a forever thing. You weren't in it for just,
always,
always
and forever. Yeah.
I did believe it. And at one point I realized, okay, I'm not getting my investment back. Like I'm giving, and also I'm losing myself. And so, you start fitting into places that you don't fit anymore. And that's when you get the courage, you say it out loud, and you move on. Well, at least that's what happened with me.
Right. And we'll get into the equity piece, but I don't know if all relationships are meant to yield a return, though. I don't know if that's the appropriate way of looking at it.
Or it's not as simple as investing in the market. And also at the same time, say you're investing in the market, you need to know when to get out before you start losing, right? And if you see it going down, then you're like, I better sell now. I better walk away. And even though that doesn't necessarily mean it's not gonna go back up again. It just really depends how much you want to invest.
Do you think there's such a thing as overinvestment?
In relationships? Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Yes.
Wait, are we talking about the stock market now?
No, I was talking about relationships.
Yeah.
Over investing, and it's really you, right? Thinking different things. First of all, get it out of your head. You're not going to change anybody, right? And so you're like, oh, but he might change. You have a vision of this person or idea, or you're in love with that idea and you keep putting your energy. Yeah, I see it. I see it. Meanwhile, this person is just being whoever they are at this moment in time, not interested in changing.
You know what's fascinating is I've heard this several times, and maybe it's several times across different podcasts, and maybe it's several times from the same person, but whatever. I still feel like I've heard it several times where people say that the man is looking for the woman to stay exactly the same forever, and the woman is looking at the potential of the man that isn't there, right? So she's looking at what the man could be versus the man that's right there. And that's really such an interesting dynamic to kind of look at, because what both parties are doing are not conducive to reality, right? The woman will change and has to change and is inevitable that she changes, and the man will not necessarily change the way that the woman sees the potential for. So it's kind of like an interesting dynamic.
It is interesting, but at the same time, there are men that are working on themselves. It's them that they have. It is that one person that has to make the I don't know, take the steps towards that change.
Yeah, and at the same time, even if the person is working on themselves, it doesn't mean that they're working on themselves to go towards the image that
you have
that you have.
that you invented. That is true. And yes, they are working on themselves, and they're working on themselves on their own pace, by the way. And so in order for you to walk along that person and you invest on that person, you have to slow down. You have to fit in whatever container there is, and sometimes you end up sacrificing you and all the work you've done to be able to walk with this person. That doesn't mean this person isn't worth it or anything like that. It just means that, are you looking at a vision of something you want him to be, or you truly investing on the current version of themselves and what they're working on? Not your idea of like, oh, you're going to shine, like,
Yeah. Sometimes I feel like that's difficult to tell, or that's difficult to distinguish or decipher, because there's so much happening when you're in the situation and when you're in the relationship and you're looking at this person with, the love and the rose-colored glasses. I feel like it's hard to determine, okay, do I see you accurately? Right? Sometimes I feel like that's a hard piece to do.
It is, but I feel like there's also, if you unconditionally love someone, right? And
Wait, do you
you
believe that's real?
unconditional love? Yeah. I feel it for everyone, by the way. Now that I'm like this whole oneness thing, loving you unconditionally, it's really loving me unconditionally. And so, yes, I do believe in that.
Okay, awesome. I believe in that as well. I don't necessarily know if I like everyone.
You don't have to like them. Or, I mean, you don't. So here's the thing. And this just actually came to me the other day. Well, I was just like, I can love your soul version because I can feel people's energy and soul, and I can sometimes feel colors. I can see the aura, or I can just see in soul level, right? Or remember a soul and all of that. But I don't have to like your 3D matrix version
Love
because
that.
your 3D matrix version sucks.
Wah,
Right?
wah.
Wah, wah, wah. Now, and so can I unconditionally love your soul? Yes. Your 3D version, you can stay that way. Like, hi, how you doing? Whatever. Bye.
You're good over there, and I'm good over here.
And it doesn't mean I don't love your soul version because I can send you love. That doesn't mean I want to, walk with you, invest in your current avatar. No.
Your current avatar. I love that.
Yeah. So I came to that realization the other day because I was like, I was conflicted. Why? Because you can sense people's true essence that doesn't match their avatar, right? Like
Is
what they're
that what we're talking
experiencing.
now? We're introducing new terms.
So I'm sensing their essence, and I can meet someone and I can feel like, oh my God, your essence is pure sweetness. And they're this rough person, right? And they're this, they have this layers and layers and layers. And
I think those are tattoo artists. You ever seen those big ass dudes at tattoo parlors? And they're like, yeah, I can make you something sick. I can draw some sick stuff on you. And then you spend some time with these dudes and they're just
they're
like big
teddy
ass
bears.
teddy bears.
Yeah, so there's the essence of the person, and then there's this, version of themselves. And so, can you still love that essence? Yes. Do I need to hang out with your avatar? No. It's not giving me, I don't know. I'm not getting anything out of it. Growth or support or whatever it is that you're looking for when you have connections. Adding into my life. So you're going to deduct, then, maybe you need to question if the math is not adding.
The math needs to math. Okay, so I feel like we should go into what we're really talking about when we say investing. When I say investing, we're talking about investing time, investing energy, investing resources, probably, likely. The less talked about investment, I feel like, is identity. And maybe we could go into self stuff, self-care, self-worth, self-esteem, self-whatever. And maybe I feel like that might be secondary or tertiary, but there is this identity piece I think that we invest in. Like, for example, our relationship comes with the identity of being family, of being sisters, of, you being an older sister. And those things are wrapped into our identities. Like, I have an identity of being a part of a family. I have an identity of being a sister. And what those things actually mean to me as like an investment. It's kind of an interesting piece that I didn't actually think about until we started recording this episode.
Okay.
But there's a lot going into the term investment. And I feel that my way of investing is actually a lot of the times is time, energy, and presence. And that kind of gets all wrapped into the identity piece.
Your currency. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So the most valuable thing for me would be my time and presence. Yeah. Well, to me, it's the same thing. Your time, if I'm making time for you, if I'm checking on you, those things, that's my energy.
You have a lot of identities that often come up, right? Like you have the daughter identity, you have the mother identity. You did have a spouse identity for quite some time. How do you feel like you invested in those identities before?
Oh, well, invest in them in a way that, so when I'm there, I'm giving it. If I'm a daughter, I'm like, my parents are never going to say, or I'm never going to say when they pass, hey, I should have, could have, would have spent more time with them. I'm there. I show up. You need a ride, I'm going to give you a ride. I'm checking on them. I would carve with my dad. So I'm giving my time, presence. I care for them as a daughter. As a mom, I'm there for the boys. Well, now and then, even more, no, as they're little, there's a lot more you giving of yourself. A lot more time you putting into them because they're just two little humans that need everything, right? And so my time was there, day, night, waking up in the middle of the night. I was there and I was present. When it comes to being a spouse, maybe I wasn't the greatest one. Like I was there, and yet I feel like I focus more on the kids rather than him, or our relationship, because we weren't really that connected, or at least when the kids came, that connection started to get farther and farther apart as we were focusing all our energy into the kids. And so that was sacrificed a little bit, the energy and the presence into the partnership, the relationship.
That's so fascinating. I feel like this happens a lot of some people stay in the relationship long past the returns have diminished, if that makes sense. So even if you're investing in a relationship, and it could be a friendship, it could be a family relationship, it could be an intimate partnership, it could just be, oh, I've been friends with so and so for so long, we're just going to be friends. And you don't exactly recognize or realize how much time and energy you are putting into the friendship and maintaining it, or the relationship, or whatever the case is. And sometimes because the relationship is established, then you don't realize how much you're putting in, and how much you are or not getting back.
Right.
Hence the diminishing returns.
Right. Is it a one-way street or is it two-way street, right? And the other, I mean, I've met this woman that we've gone on to lunches and stuff, and like we talk and things. And she's a little, she's got her ways, and she's like, I'm the kind of person that doesn't really reach out and this. I'm like, well, I'm not going to invest in you if you're not going to invest in me. I said investment. I'm going to invest the same amount you're investing in this. Because what's the point of me, doing all of this if you are telling me that this is how you are? I'm like, great. So whenever you send me a smoke signal, I'll send you a smoke signal back, right?
Smoke signal.
It's okay. Not every relationship is going to be like all in, but there's the people that, that they're all in. And so I talk to them. Well, I talk to you all the time.
Right?
Right. And so it's all in, right? And there's people that I talk to them, I don't know, maybe 3 times a year. And once we talk, we reconnect like nothing happened. That's okay too.
So in New York City, I feel like this is such a big concept of
The cactus
investment.
friendships.
Well, of investment, right? Because of the nature of the city, there's this concept of, is this person going to stay? Is this person going to leave? What are we doing? Is it transient? Am I investing time, effort, energy in this friendship or this relationship for this person to just then move out of the city?
Yeah. Okay. But see, also I feel like that also has to do with age. Because I think when you're in your 20s, everything is perfect, like you're a teenager, you don't care about these things, right? Then you get up to a certain age and then you're thinking, wait a minute. You value more your energy and you value more, and you have different goals. Like, I mean, some people might have the goal of, I don't know, having a family, having kids. And so, there's a timeline. So am I going to put my energy into someone that doesn't know if he wants to stay in the city? Or am I going to follow him to, I don't know, Colorado?
So random, Colorado.
I don't know. Like a really big change. So, and some people make those decisions of, like, okay, this is worth whatever, this investment, this is gold, right? This is a mine. So yes, I'm going to relocate or not or whatnot, but people are being more cautious about that and where they put that energy.
Okay, so do you tend to place an investment on a relationship, any relationship, just based on the present moment, or do you actually look at also the potential for growth?
Are we talking friendship or are you talking about a partnership?
No, I'm talking, well, now I'm just talking friendship, and I'll tell you why.
Okay, so friendship, a present moment's fine. I don't need to have a commitment. I don't need you to sign a contract or anything like that. So present moment is fine. I think people come in your life to teach you something. And that could be, it could be a shooting star that just happened to pass by and it was amazing. And it lasted, I don't know how many seconds, or it could be just something that's there for a while. Either way, you're learning something from these connections. So no, I don't look at it like, oh, I wonder if 5 years from now we're still gonna be friends. What's your friend 5-year program? A plan?
What's your 5-year plan? Yeah, so it's so interesting. I CrossFit, and I had a super core CrossFit group, and one of them moved away, and we fell out of touch.
Okay.
One of them is leaving the city for good, like this week. And it made me think about, okay, I've spent time, energy, effort, resources connecting with these people. And and they're leaving, which is, it's fair enough. It is New York City. I just think of it in that sense as well, of
Okay.
people that have been in New York for a really long time. They also gauge their level
Okay.
of investment across time.
To me, it's like, okay, you're leaving. Where are you going? What cool places am I going to visit? Like, cool. Is it out of the country? That's great.
Well, I have been invited now to Boston, Africa, and Brazil.
Oh, see? Hello.
Oh, and France.
Boston, I know it's another country.
I mean, it's not New York City for sure.
Hey, I love Boston.
I do too. Boston's sweet.
To me, when people leave, if they're like, they're those kind of friends, the kind of friends, you're going to keep in touch. You're going to send a note. You're going to be like, hey, what's up? You're going to have the WhatsApp group. You're going to have the whatever FaceTime, whatever you do. Say Carr and Smith left the country.
Well, we've never really, with Carr and Smith, we've never really lived in the same vicinity for any stretch of time.
And you're still talking all the time.
And we're still talking every single day.
There's this awesome thing called internet and
and cell
and
phones.
FaceTime.
And
Yeah.
I do want to give Carr a shout out because today, the day that we're recording, not the day that this will be airing, today, the day we're recording, is her birthday.
Oh, happy belated birthday
to you.
That's awesome.
No diminished returns on that, on those relationships for sure.
Yeah,
if
because
anything,
there's
compounding
different kinds of relationships,
ROI.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was. Who was I listening to? Was it Simon? Your boy Simon? Anyway,
Simon?
you know how he always goes
Simon
into
Sinek?
friendship. Yeah, he always goes like friendships, And he was talking about the friends. There's obviously the friends you can call at any time. Hey, my plane is arriving at 3 a.m. Can you get me? Something happened to my car. Who do you call? Okay. So you have those kind of people. And then there's another level of friends that are even higher up.
Like what?
And the friends that you actually call when something goes amazing to brag about. And they're not going to judge you.
Yeah.
And they're going to be like, oh my God, I'm so happy for you. Instead of being like, instead of being
salty,
sour,
instead of being
salty.
salty. Like,
right. Like the kind of people that the more you elevate and the more you reach certain, I don't know, whatever it is that you're reaching for, whatever stars you're reaching for, when you reach them, they party with you. Like they celebrate you.
Okay, I think we have to go here now. I think you just brought us here now. I think we have to go here now. Okay, so we were listening to, what is that, Matteo?
Oh.
Estefano? I don't know what his name is. And Robert Edward Grant and Emilio Ortiz. One of the Just Tap In podcast with Emilio Ortiz, and he's co-hosting with
I forgot his name, Jeff something.
Scult, and they're interviewing Robert Edward Grant and Matteo. What's his name? Stefano?
I think so.
Stefano? Whatever. Anyway, It doesn't matter. And And then you also had me listen to an interview, or it wasn't really an interview. It was just Mateo talking
Mateo talking
in front of a crowd. And they were talking about relationships as well. And Mateo had an interesting, like, love is poison, which is, I never heard of that before. I couldn't really grasp what he was saying. I don't subscribe to it. But he did make a point of saying, like, there was something that ruptured for us to be here, and that's what created this a dynamic of us striving for something. And maybe it's the dynamic of striving for another half, which is like a weird thing to strive for because we're all complete, and this weird thing that happens to us when we're out searching for love. That was an interesting point
of view.
What did you make of that point?
I think it's personal to him. I think that it has to do with the story he told about it has to do with elements, with the atoms, the split. As it's not meant to be love with. He's a little odd, I know. He thinks more in concepts, and I think he views love as something that broke.
He's super weird. You saying he's a little odd is super nice.
Well, I like him.
I mean, yeah, he's so difficult to not like.
Yeah, and so he talks about that the feeling for him that love is just a poison is because as it broke, it just created a shift, and everything is out of place in a way. So his journey or his job or what he does is goes to all of these places in the world, and he's trying to reconnect or what do you call it? Like
reassemble.
Reassemble everything. And so that's his purpose. And so but that's his view, right?
But you don't agree.
No.
Okay.
No, I think love to me it's my essence. I mean, and hopefully he'll find that too.
Well,
love one day will find him. And if he's open to it, it's just gonna.
For sure. You're already in love with him. Okay, so another interesting part of that podcast and what they talked about was the fact that people disappeir, or you disappear from people's lives and other people disappear.
What the took I got from that is as your veil is dropping, and as you're growing, and as you're vibrating in really this high frequency, people are not going to be able to
be in your space
anymore. They're not going to be able to vibrate at that high level, so they're going to drop off, disappear. And so you'll start seeing friends. And so he calls it also the split, like lower earth and higher earth. And it's not that there's going to be like a split, but more like people are just not going to be in your life. Like the person that was always there is going to drop off. People are going to go.
That's kind of crazy because I agree with it.
I do too.
I do agree with it.
There's been relationships that are not like, I know they're there, but they're like absent, like almost if they're not there.
Then either like I disappear from people's lives or people disappear from my life. It's not necessarily a conscious talked about thing. It's just like it happens. I don't know. It's such a weird concept, but it's so true. And maybe for me, there have been specific times when I've actually talked to people and have said, hey, this is it. This is where this ends, which
Or
is an
you're the
interesting
only
thing.
one that breakups with friends. Like you have a real breakup, like a conversation breakup, which is I've never done that with a friend. Like, yeah, our friendship is over.
Well, diminishing returns, man. I mean, okay, so
It's just,
I did have a friendship that actually properly ended, and part of it was the confusion of what the friendship was, because there was some intensity to the friendship that created a lot more intimacy. And when we were talking, and when we were friends, it was because I called her and I texted her and I FaceTimed her and I went and visited her. She didn't live in New York, so she doesn't live in New York. And so a lot of these things where I, place in action and then created a connection. And all of that was me taking action towards establishing a friendship, maintaining a friendship, and, keeping it to the point where I decided, okay, this isn't
okay,
working
but there
out
was
anymore.
also more than friendship. There was
Right.
attraction.
I was attracted to her.
Mm-hmm.
There were a lot of things going on, and attachment. There was an attachment. I was attached to her. She was attached to me. There was intimacy. We talked about things that we weren't really talking to other people about. So there was a lot of things. And had it been reciprocal in the sense of, her placing actions as well, then maybe
You would
we
still
could
be
have
friends. Yeah.
clarified that a bit more and been, uh, really more friends than this weird, ambiguous kind of thing. And it just, because I was putting so much effort, energy, and doing all of the things, it made sense that, okay, I don't want to do all of this anymore. And so I basically ended the friendship, even though it was a friendship. I mean,
Yeah,
there
I
was
mean,
intimacy, but
but also you broke it off via phone, right? Like, okay, this
through a
friendship is
text message.
over. I don't know.
Well, she needed space from our friendship, so she asked for space from our friendship, and then she tried to talk to me. It, you know, whatever. I for sure overinvested because I had feelings, and it didn't go anywhere, and I properly was like, okay, I can't do this anymore because
Let
I
me
was
get my
doing
money
everything.
back. I want my money back.
Give me my time, my effort, my energy back.
Yeah.
But overinvesting is definitely a thing, and potentially the overinvesting can lead to avoidance of the self. So overinvesting in a relationship or someone else might be also a sign that the person is avoiding investing in themselves.
True. Also, there's a different way people show affection, love, right? So there's people that just give and give and give, and that's their love language. And the other person's love language looks completely different. So you also have to think about that. So you're giving in the way that you know how to, but they don't receive the same way and they don't give the same way because they give in a different way.
Can you give me an example?
Like mom, she's all service, right?
Yeah.
So you can tell her, Mom, I love you, I love you. She's not gonna tell you.
She's gonna cook you a meal.
She's gonna freaking cook you a meal, send you food home like she did, I don't know, this weekend.
Thank you.
Like, and she didn't just send you a little bit, like she sent you. And I'm like, oh, can we have double seconds here?
Nah.
You know, so that's her love language. And you're, hmm and you're dying for her to tell you that she loves you.
I'm over that.
It ain't happening.
No.
But
Everyone's
you know what I
over
mean?
that.
So
No one's waiting for
that's
that shit no
but
more.
that's how that well, that's one example.
Okay, so is there such a thing as a balanced emotional investment? Like a 50-50, is that a myth? What do you think?
50.
I
No, because
don't
I
think
don't
it's a myth.
consider,
I don't think it's a myth.
but also, Tere, right? 50-50. Okay, are we talking about paying a bill? No. We're talking
No, we're
about,
talking about
right.
two
But
people.
right, so you are 100. I'm 100, you're 100. We're
Yeah,
talking 200 here. We're not talking 50-50. So I'm not, you know what I mean?
I like
so
that.
50,
200. I
the
like that.
50-50 thing, I don't know, it just came on.
I love that.
Just
I
popped
think
up.
that should be a new thing. I'm 100,
Because,
you're 100.
right,
One
like
and
I'm
one.
not 50%. We're not making an orange, right? Like, like you
Mi
half of the
media
orange, mi media
naranja.
naranja. Yeah, no. I'm a full orange, you're an apple. Let's make fruit salad.
Fruit salad.
Look.
I was just literally gonna say that. Let's make some fruit salad.
Or juice or whatever, but basically,
You can't make no juice with apple and orange.
why not?
I don't know.
Okay, fruit salad.
Regardless, okay. So I really love that. 100 and 100 equals 200.
Yeah. So it's also the understanding that I am full, I'm complete, and I'm sharing this with you.
And part of it is that it's not about like equal act, right? So it's not I cook you dinner and you cook me dinner, because those are not equal acts. You know what I mean?
Not the way you cook. Yeah, no, I'm kidding.
Those are not equal acts.
She has a what do you call it? Air fryer.
I have an air fryer,
I
and
went
that's
to
all I
visit her.
do. All I do is air
hold
fry.
on. Let me finish. So she has an air fryer, but she's also afraid of undercooking meat. So then she has this. So she overcooks the chicken in the air fryer.
Undercooking chicken. It's
So
not
she
just meat.
Okay, so she overcooks the chicken, and I'm like, yeah, no, too much.
You have teeth. You know, that's what Mom used to say.
Yeah.
My mom
Because she
used
was
to
so
say,
lazy,
"You have
she would chop
teeth."
everything so big, and
She'll
really, Mommy, can
chop
you
a
make it a little
potato in
smaller?
4.
And she'd be like, "You have teeth."
You have teeth.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's not really about that.
No, I mean,
About keeping tabs. But also, if you have a friend, and you know that if I don't call you, you're not gonna call me. Eventually,
you're not friends no more.
hey, eventually, I mean, like, if I stop watering this plant, what happens? Is it gonna die?
For sure.
Yeah. So it has to be like abundance, right?
Yeah.
There has to be a flow. You wanna get something, you give something, and you get what you give, and you give what you get.
I love that. So
Yeah.
in that sense, it is 100 for sure, because you're getting back what you're putting in.
Right.
So, in relationships, though, there are times when people put in more because each relationship goes through seasons, right? When when
Yeah.
someone is grieving something, when there's a death in the family, when there's a illness that happens to one of the people, when someone gets unemployed. So there's seasons where
Right.
things happen, and I feel like those are inherently different, and there
That's
can be
different.
reciprocity,
Right.
and that doesn't have to take the relationship to a whole other weird unbalanced level.
In fact, and it's in those exact moments that it should make a relationship stronger, I feel.
Lo que
Because,
no mata engorda.
no, because it is those moments that you meet the other person with kindness, with love, with understanding, and you're holding that space for them, right? So that doesn't mean, okay, it's not like, okay, now at this moment, you can only put this much into the relationship because you're going through grief or whatever it is that you're going through. But we're here to hold each other in those places, in those spaces.
It's an opportunity for sure. Like when something happens, especially when a relationship or an intimate partnership goes through seasons of some real life stuff happening, it's it's almost a gift to see how the other person can meet you where you're at. But that doesn't diminish.
And a privilege in a way. Like
Yeah.
I'm you're giving me the privilege of sitting with you in the mud, right? And I want to be there for you. And so, yeah.
And it's it's an interesting thing to view it as a privilege too, because you're getting the opportunity to show up in a way that you haven't shown up before.
It's like a portal, really. And then you're like, wow, I can do this. I can be kind, patient. You know what I mean? Like I showed up. I stepped into this portal and I opened up and I gave, right? And also at the same time, I'm not carrying your stuff, but I'm holding it because I know it doesn't belong to me, but I'm holding that for you.
That seems so tender. Right? Like I'm holding space for you to
Right.
have this experience and choosing to be present
Right.
with the experience.
And what what it does to your heart just breaks it open, right? It's healing. It's coherence healing, Tere.
My goodness.
It just clicked. I'm like, wait, because it is your heart and your brain, they're syncing. You're opening space, you're holding, and your vibration is helping elevate the other person, but you're staying whole, right?
What an amazing investment pattern. Coherence healing.
Yeah.
It's interesting. We can call it attachment or attachment style, but it is a pattern within the relationship that a person can kind of come in with or show up with, and that also can be an investment pattern of you're going into a relationship and you're repeating the same pattern, and that's such a beautiful way of looking at the coherence healing of you're able to be in the relationship, be 100%, and have the privilege and opportunity to show up as 100% by way of modeling as well. Because
Yeah.
as you're showing up 100%, you're also modeling for the other person that you can show up 100% so that they can in return.
Right. And hopefully it's you're talking about taking turns, but at times, sometimes both of you need that. Both of you need to be held. Say both are going through something, grief, and the other one, whatever, I don't know, loss of some sort, unemployment, whatever it is. Then you have your tribe. That's why women have women. Then you have your peeps. Yeah. The people in your corner. And that's an investment that I can't see without, you know?
Okay, so how does one go about an audit of their relationship, of their relational portfolio?
I saw the other day, and that made me question too, like, this woman was saying, if you can tell someone, say you tell a friend, or it's like, I can see how much you love yourself by the partner you chose. If that feels like an insult to you,
Wow, that is awesome.
then you know you need to do something, you know?
Can you say that again? Because I need to hear that again.
Just asking someone, I can see how much you love yourself by the partner you chose. How does that feel? How does that
Wow.
sit in you?
Yeah,
Like,
I feel like
oh
that's
my
big.
God. You know? And then somebody said that about food. Am I loving myself by eating this? And you gotta answer that.
You know, consumption aside, so the audit question, relational portfolio audit, I feel like this is a really good one. I don't know how many people go into, audits of their relational portfolio. I do. I do actively in real time, all of the time, of when I get a request for some, hangout or chillin' or a CrossFit thing, or someone saying, "Hey, we should go," whatever. I always check in with myself. I always look at the invitation. I'm always grateful for the invitation. Getting invited is great. Being included is also great. I want to make sure that I want to be there, because then that will come across as my 100%. If I don't want to be there, then I have no business being there. I do audits all of the time. So whenever I get in a request of, you want to blank, go out for dinner, go out for drinks, go out for coffee, come over, can I come over? And any of the times when I get a bid for connection from someone, I look at the source of the person asking, the time, and what the relationship entails, and I actually very much protect my time, my energy, my resources, and I make those decisions fully. I do not mess around with my time or energy.
Yeah, no, I know. And it shows, because at times you're like, we invite you to come to Connecticut, and you're like, no, thank you. Not this weekend. And so you also checking in with your body, like, am I tired? Am I not? Can I handle this and whatnot? And yet there's times and there's certain people that ask me to show up, and if I'm tired, I'm gonna show up tired, but I'm gonna show up
Yeah. Oh,
because
obvio.
there's those kind of people that show up for you, and so when they ask you, "Hey, can we have a drink or can we have a coffee or whatever it is that they want to have?" You never refuse
That's true.
because, there's the certain people now. There's people that know. I'm like, I'll take a rain check. Whatever that means, the rain check.
So it's that's so fun. I like that because you're talking about the people that are kind of just always there. I
Yeah.
mean, the other day, Karkar sent a message saying basically, um, putting my name in the chat and saying, "Hey, I need you too." And as soon as I got the text message, I called. I was like, "Okay, so this is real. You're asking for my presence. I'm. I just got done with work. I'm calling. We're here. I'm present." Um. So, are there times where you invest in people's potentials?
Well, well, okay. Well, no, it's not that I'm investing in people's potential, but it's more a respect thing. And so, for instance, I have my circle of women, and everybody is in a different place in their journey, and wherever they are, I respect that, right? I know what they're working towards. Like I know what they're working on healing certain things, and they'll openly communicate that. So I know where they're heading. And yes, I do invest in them. So yes, absolutely yes.
That's awesome. Yeah. I mean, there are times when you see it, when it's a green flag or a red flag or a yellow flag, you can tell.
Right. And then your gut will tell you too.
Well, with the Eve Pamporas, I think that's her name, where
Okay.
the podcast of the Secret Service agent, and she's
Oh,
like,
yeah.
"Don't help people that don't ask for help," and I was like,
Exactly.
For sure. For
I've
sure.
kind of I learned that as well. Like when they are, like you giving information, and whatever they do with that information, that's on them. But if they reach out to you, like I had a guy the other day, "Hey, remember what you said? If we do this, if we meditate, we do an exchange." And I'm like, "Yeah." So he mentioned it. So the next day I'm like, "Hey, are you serious about this?" And he's like, "Yes, how about Thursday?" Or, so eh, I'm waiting for you to make the next step. I'm not going to be like, "Hey, remember this?" No, that's not, I'm not your calendar. I'm not your reminder. I'm not your Siri.
Siri.
Or your chat, but it's I'm available. You know it, so just reach out, and then again, there's got to be this flow. Not me.
Right, not just
It's like the
one-sided.
more information I throw at you, the more you're gonna know. That's not how that works.
Okay, so what are your high let's put it this way. Who are your high yield relationships and what are your high yield relationship behaviors?
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Okay. I don't have very many.
Me
Do
neither. Me
I
neither.
have, I have said,
Whoop, whoop.
I have my salsa girls. We are groups.
Yeah, they've
But
been
with them,
showing up.
but within them, I have a very strong connection with Natalia, and so she shows up for me. She built stuff here in my apartment. Like yesterday, I was tired, but like she just moved to her new apartment, and she needed help building her bed. And she's like, "If you're not tired, I'm on my way." I text her, "I'm on my way." And I showed up, like it was just to build her bed. Took me 30 minutes to get there, 32 minutes. And there's the people you show up for, you know?
That's high yield relationship behavior right there.
Right. And also, I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna call Nati because I knew about the bed. And the minute I'm thinking about it, she calls me. So our signal is also very, very connected. But all in all, my salsa girls, which were like, you know, and that's currently it, really. Oh, I have Jesus. Jesus.
Jesus.
Yeah. And then I have other close friends. I mean, but not as tight, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Have you ever had like a sunk cost fallacy thing with a relationship where you're like investing, but the relationship of the past was so good that you think, okay, but we were so, such good friends in high school and with college, oh, whatever, it's just college and that person's busy, but we'll get back to being close friends and the investment over time. It's kind of like you're waiting for the friendship to be back to somewhere it can never go. Have you ever had that?
Well, you mean romanticizing a friendship
Well,
in a way?
yeah, a
Because
time period, right?
so I had this awesome friendship with, a college friend. Her name was Lauren. And we had a really, really tight it felt like family, really.
She did feel
And
like
then
family,
at
yeah.
one point she dropped off, like literally dropped off, like disappeared.
She disappeared. I think we have to go back to that topic anyway. We'll go back.
Okay, so she disappeared, and that was, I tried, reaching and reaching, hoping, okay. So at times I would dream about her, so I would like text her or whatnot. So I think I tried like a handful of times, and then I just said, that's it, let it be. Send her love. Bye. It was great.
Was it weird? It must have been so hard to walk away.
For her to walk away?
No, for
Or
you.
for me, yeah. At one point, and this happened like a year after. I saw a friend that we have in common, and we talked about it, and then I started crying, and I'm like, oh my God, I just never cried about this, so I let it go. And after
That's so
that, I just
awesome.
like, okay, it's done.
That's so awesome.
So, yeah.
Okay, the disappearing, because we went back into the topic. It's really wild because, okay, for some context, I just heard this podcast, what was it, 2 days ago? Definitely wasn't yesterday. A couple of days ago. So it's very fresh in my mind. And it just blew me away. Like
Well,
all of
to
a
me,
sudden you're there and you're relating to people, and then all of a sudden you're not there anymore.
yeah.
And that's crazy. It's true though.
It is true, and that's happened with another friend I had in Peru as well. And so the disappearing when connects, and I'm thinking, I kind of knew this already. Like as you are vibrating at, people are not going to be able to have stuff in common with you. They're going to look at you like, oh, this meditation thing. One other thing, they look at you like, is that a religion? Like,
I love that.
and so there's people that are just not going to be able to keep, and I don't want to say keep up, but just vibrate at your level. And so they will, and you too, you will let go of them because you're not getting anything out of it anymore, right?
Yeah, they will just like fade
Mm-hmm.
away
Into the lower earth.
into the never land.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, do you feel like there are relationships you're over investing in and under receiving in?
Not at this moment. No.
Ditto.
I think
Same.
I've gotten to a place where I'm like, even though I care about you, I can do that from a distance, and looking at it as I'm sending love to you, to your, to your soul or your essence, because your avatar is not working out for me.
Do you ever actually say that? Your avatar is not working out for me? Do you literally go up to someone and
I
say,
have
hey,
mentioned
okay,
it, but not
it's-
directly to the avatar.
You know what? Your avatar is no longer in service
Compatible with me. Your avatar needs an upgrade.
Your avatar and my avatar have fallen out of grace.
Yeah. And
Okay.
it's because, like, how your phone, if you don't update and update, and you're like,
Yeah.
yeah. Okay.
Yeah. If you treated energy like money,
Or the most valuable thing.
where would
Yeah.
you stop spending right now? In this moment, where would you stop spending?
At this moment, I am conscious about everything. I'm good. Oh, my bank is here.
I feel the same. But that's a good question to leave the readers, right?
Yeah, because at one point, like, my avatar, I don't know, 10 years ago, if I got cut off in the highway or whatever, I would like throw them, here's $300. And get upset at people like,
For
but
no
there's this
reason.
girl that
get
asked me,
upset.
so wait, she said to me, are you always happy? And like, nothing upsets you? Like, I'm never gonna see you angry? And I'm like, look, if you do, I am going to sit with that and analyze it. Like, where's it coming from? Why do I have a trigger?
Oh,
Like,
this is mine. How do
this
I?
is mine.
How am I
like,
responsible for this?
and so I will feel it. I will let it go and, move on from it. But not really. Like, my energy is gold. It's my gold.
It's so funny. I said readers. I meant listeners. I am a writer, so I do have readers.
You did.
I meant listeners. And listen, this is the question I feel like I'm going to leave you with, which is, if you treated your energy like money, where would you stop spending immediately, right now, in this moment?
Right. If every phone call you made was $500. Okay, let's just say $50. Whatever. And your text messages, and you're like showing up for people, are they doing the same for you? And just, I don't know. It's time for some pruning.
Yeah, what would be your giveaway, your takeaway question?
That one about the partners. if I can see, if you ask someone or if you ask yourself,
Right.
I can tell how much I love myself by the partner I chose. How is that sitting with you? How is that? And where do you feel it? Like, are you feeling something? Like, is something hurting you? Like, how is that sitting with you? And also the other thing would be choosing yourself and returning all of that love and transmuting it that you were giving to people that, no longer should really have it. Transmute it and turning it back into you as self-love. It's not being selfish. It's just caring for yourself and caring for that energy.
So I feel like that's it then. Right?
Yeah,
Okay.
that's it.
So that's all we have for you this week. This week we're talking about the investment in your relationships, the investment of your energy towards those relationships, and we hope.
Hey, I forgot one thing.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Ah!
The 3 Ps.
The 3 Ps?
Right. If wherever you put in your energy is not giving you.
Oh, yes!
Right?
Yes. The 3 Ps.
Yeah, it's not giving you peace, profit, or purpose, then don't invest.
When I
Peace,
first, okay,
profit,
I have to
purpose.
I have to admit that when I first heard your 3 Ps, I felt some sort of way about you saying profit. So peace, profit.
Well, it doesn't have to be money.
No, yeah, I
right?
know.
Okay.
Peace, profit, and what else?
Purpose.
Purpose. Purpose,
Right.
I
So
understood.
putting your energy into your purpose work, into what lights you up. Peace, the whole
Keep
peace
the
thing.
peace.
Right.
Keep my peace.
People don't look for happiness, look for peace.
That's the most truest thing ever.
Happiness is already inside. Okay. And then what was the other one? Profit.
Profit.
Are you gaining
Your
something?
gains.
Are they adding or subtracting? So it's about your gains.
I love that. I'm going to remember those 3 Ps.
The 3 Ps.
3
Okay.
Ps in one pod. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so
Okay, that's all we have. Now
that's all we have for you this week. And we'll be back next week.
With your permission.
And that is all we have for you this week.
Make sure you follow Permission the Podcast.
And we'll be back next week with your permission.